Hey, what's up, geeks? Darron here. Now, in this video, I'm going to tell you why you should code for the money. Now, I can't relate to this myself because I actually started coding as a hobby, but I definitely believe that you should code for the money if you need it. Now, before I get into this, as usual, there's a link in the description below if you're interested in learning React Native. There's a free course. And also, I strongly encourage you to join our React Native community on our Facebook channel. That way we can network, we can exchange any of the issues we're having with React Native, and then we can also help each other get employed. So definitely check that out. But this is an interesting topic because I know that a lot of people get into software development because of the money. You know, and honestly, when I first started coding, I never heard of a software developer. I didn't even know that I was coding. I was just like, hey, I'm building apps. I'm building applications. I thought it was cool. And yeah, I'll tell you that whole story in a second. So yeah, let me just get into it. So anyways, when I first started coding, as I stated, it was a hobby of mine. I'm a former D1 college football player. I played football for the University of Utah. I walked on. And I pursued my professional football aspirations from there. I had my pro day at the University of Utah, and then from there, I actually there's these regional combines. Well, Utah Blaze had an arena team. I worked out for the Utah Blaze. I was with them for like some of the last games of the year, and then I tested really well. I ran a 4.47, 10.6 broad jump, and then my agent he told me to work out for some regional combines. But anyways, before I get go into that too deeply, when I first started coding, I just started coding as a hobby. And I know that when I finished my collegiate career, and it was very difficult for me to get a job. So my first job out of college was a janitorial job. I worked as a janitor. I couldn't get hired as for economics. That's what I got my undergraduate in. So I couldn't get employment as an economist. And I had no idea. Again, I was already coding. So that should let you know how dumb I was. I was already coding, but in my mind, it just didn't register that I could work as a software developer because nobody was telling me this. And I had no idea you can even get you can get paid for doing what I do. So from there, I went from working as a janitor to working as a security guard. And I did both these jobs. These are hard jobs and jobs that don't pay a lot of money, but I worked those jobs even though I didn't want to work those jobs because I needed to pay my bills. And what I'm trying to say is, the point that I'm trying to get at is that even if you don't like software development, sometimes in life, in order to live the life you want to live or get where you want to get out of life, you have to do things you don't want to do. I think the biggest problem is that people don't have goals. Like, you don't have a long-term vision for your life. So it's about, oh, I don't feel like dieting. I don't feel like exercising. Oh, I don't feel like coding. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. But that's what being adult's all about. You know, it's not all about how you feel. It's about how you have to have self-control, enough self-control and discipline to work through those hard times so you can actually have an easy life. Like they say, hard times make strong men. What is it? Hard times make strong men make easy times. Weak men make worse times, something like that. You need to be strong. You need to stick to stick to things, even if you don't like it for however long, because eventually it's going to help you get where you need to get. The one thing that I would say is what you should not do. You definitely shouldn't work for a toxic work environment. And that's regardless of how you're getting paid. So even if you're not liking the work for an environment where at least you like the people you work with. They're cool, because it's going to make it a lot easier for you to do what you do, So that's the first point that I want to make. The second point that I want to make is that, man, I promise you, I did not come from a lot of money. I came up from, in 1992, my hometown, East Palo Alto, is murder capital. A lot of people in that area, they live in poverty. Growing up, believe it or not, I didn't know that I was poor because everybody around me didn't have much. Some people had a little bit less. Some people had a little bit more. So I grew up really humble. So I never needed a lot of different things to be happy. But that's me. What works for me doesn't work for everybody else. But I do know that working as a software developer, going from 30 grand a year to about 80 grand a year, and then 80 grand to plus, I make well over 6 now. And that's because of pretty much I got lucky with a hobby of mine. After that, after I got my undergraduate, I actually went and pursued my master's in IT. So I have a master's in information systems. And yeah, man, it's definitely coding and reading books has definitely changed my life. And I don't know what all this book reading came from, but it just so happens like my mid to late 20s, there wasn't much on TV. Honestly, I mean, I'm pretty sure some of you can relate to me. There just wasn't a lot of stuff on TV. And then even some of these apps are kind of like soul draining. It's a waste of time. So for me, I was just hungry for knowledge. I was really just, when you play football, you have no freedom. Like I had friends who did study abroad programs. I had friends that did like summer vacations, group summer vacations. And I could never participate in any of that because my entire schedule revolved around football. So when I got out of that, I was definitely just hungry for knowledge. I wanted to learn as much as I can. And it's something I definitely will recommend. So if you don't like where your life currently is at, I would strongly recommend that you check out you entertain software development, because even if that's not something that you see yourself staying in for the long run, at least it's going to help you get your life together. Like working as a software developer helped me get out of debt. It helps me save up money. It's definitely allowed me to travel the world. And I don't know any other way I would have been able to do that. But anyways, that's my 2 cents. Like, comment, subscribe, share your opinion in the comment below. If you're interested in learning React Native, before you purchase anything, check out the free course. There's a link, and in that link is basically going to redirect you to a form. You give your email, your name, and then it's going to give you a link to the free course. I recommend checking it out first because, I don't like buying anything without checking out. But and on top of that, I really strongly recommend checking out the Facebook group, because the Facebook group, you can reach out to me directly or anybody else that's a React Native developer and get advice and even get hooked up with a job. So that's something that's definitely growing. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.